And how did your parents feel about that?
No, they thought I was throwing my life away. They were obviously very happy about the career choice I made, and that's something I studied. And they said like I got a job really quickly as well. And they're like, it doesn't happen in these times, you know. You must be thankful for what you have. Like, are you dead sure you are what you say you are? You know, I can see these numbers on your screens, but is it real? I don't want to catch the big trades. I want to make money. For me, it's compounding and a numbers game. So if I see I'm 1 to 2% up, I'll close it. And some people are against it because they say those are actually your runners. No. I say no. Close, build momentum, you know, and stick to your 1% a day. If you lose 1%, you're done for the day. I'm really strict on that, and I don't care if it could have been 100k a day. I still made more than an average person working in South Africa.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of 2Gs and Co podcast with my co-host Keegan van Dijk, one of the strongest traders in the game.
What's up, Chad?
And we've got a special guest here, a vault funder trader, Jaun-Lee Bezuidenhout. Very welcome to the podcast.
What's up, Chad? Thank you guys for having me here.
Jean, I'm going to jump straight into it, and you've got quite a big payout coming up. I think how many days left before you can place your withdrawal? Is it a week?
That's a week, yeah. The Thursday, next week Thursday, yeah, the 4th of April, yes.
I think the big question is, are you leaving the account with the decent amount of profit you've got waiting for the payout?
Yes.
Or are you still...
Yes,
still
no, I need the money, so...
Yeah, so I think we're going to start there before we really get into the rest of it. Jean, you're obviously from Cape Town, born and bred in Cape Town, or...
Yes, so I'm originally from Cape Town, from Brackenfell in the northern suburbs. And I was there my whole life. I grew up there, and that's where I'm from.
Okay, and your trading journey, how old are you now, Sean?
I'm turning 25 in November, so I'm currently 24, yes.
So still young. Guys, if you didn't even know, I didn't even start trading at that age. I think that's when I started dabbling in it, and you're already getting some big payouts now from Vault Funder. Where did your trading start? How did you get introduced to trading and get into the trading game?
Well, that's actually an interesting one. It's funny how it all happened. I've always been in crypto investing. In 2020, I got introduced to crypto through my friends, and I bought my first few coins. And then obviously 2021 happened, where the first bull run actually happened as me as an investor, and I was like, yo. This is quite nice, you know. I want to get into real investing and stuff like that. Through one of my best friends, actually Benny, he introduced it to me. And then when I saw you can make money daily in the markets and you can determine the outcome, that's when I made the move over. So, yeah, I joined a Telegram group that he showed me, a signals group, you know, where they send like 7 gold signals a day. And I took 500 Rand to 4,000 Rand in one day, and then I saw the potential. And I made my first withdrawal of 3K, and I was like, okay, this is real. And then that's when I started diving into it, yes.
And in terms of, everyone always wants to know, like, what strategy you trade, who was your mentor, all of that. You don't necessarily need to disclose that, but where did you start? Was it the typical support and resistance, trend lines?
Yeah. So that's basically, I'm a support and resistance trader in trend lines. That's the most easiest concepts, but my friends love ICT because they sound more clever and clued up when they talk about it, but I'm more profitable. so yeah, but basically support and resistance. Yeah, that's how I only stick to it.
And in terms of, I think also one thing to add, you bought one challenge with Vault Funder, you passed the phase 1, the phase 2, and you're getting a payout. So it wasn't a case of doing 20 challenges before your payout. Did you still use that strategy, just pure support and resistance, to get these type of gains and get through your phase 1 and 2?
Yes, only support and resistance. Minor key levels on 5 minute, and my major key levels is your daily key levels, like you guys use on stream. And then basically looking at how the candles are forming, in which direction or which key level it's going to go tap, and I trade towards that direction. Yeah.
And do you have like what we've got, like a certain entry criteria
Yeah.
rule for what you want to see
Yeah.
at a certain level?
Yeah, so continuation, I have one for when it's going to continue or break the levels, and then I have one when it respects it as well. So basically weak entries off of the 15 and 30 minutes. So it depends on how the candles are forming, yes.
Okay. And in terms of the prop challenges, obviously the prop firm space is, let's call it a very hot topic for various reasons. There's obviously a lot of negativity going around with the funded trader, but there's also a lot of success stories, even like the previous guests we had, really making that shift to prop firms. Was Vault Funded the first prop firm you traded with, or have you traded with other prop firms as well?
So I have had prop firm accounts by different various firms, but I didn't really take it as seriously as I should have. You know, I've treated it like a demo account because it is basically a demo in the phases until I hit like a rock bottom on my main accounts. That's when I decided, okay, I must maybe take this more serious to build up my capital with that I lost. So then I took up your challenge, and then I just followed my strategy, stick to my rules, and yeah, now I'm sitting here today.
And again, guys, Jaun is not affiliated with Vault Fund or anything. How has the experience been from like purchasing the account, the trading conditions, the support up until now? Like honest review. You don't, even though you're sitting here with us, we always open to positive criticism because ultimately we want to produce the best product. But how's it been for you since the start?
No, smooth sailing. I've no complaints. Execution wise, awesome. I thought maybe the spreads are going to be a bit different on execution from moving demo to live, but that transition has been smooth. Always open and clear communication. My details between phases was sent swiftly as well. So yeah, everything was smooth sailing, and it really opened my eyes that this is actually a real thing. This is actually how you can make a sustainable income off of this.
And my thing now going forward is, what is the plan now after you get that first payout? Now is the idea now to start scaling your capital in the prop firm space, or is it that thing of you're going to build the capital from the prop firm to eventually just go back to private funding?
So my plan is to scale my capital. So I want to keep trading prop firms and investing in bigger accounts, like get a 2 million challenge, always reinvest, never overspend, you know, and just keep on scaling in the industry. If everything is working, I don't see why I need to put a big amount of my money into an account to trade if these type of legit firms are out there, because why would I do something like that, you know? And just keep trading my strategy because it is profitable, and it keeps my structure as well, the rules, so I don't bend the rules, you know. I'm not as like lax on my normal accounts as I am on my prop firm accounts.
Would you say, Keegs, I think we've chatted about this, that prop firms actually make you a better risk manager, not necessarily a better trader?
I'd go that far and say it makes you a better trader.
Yeah.
If you sit there at the end of the day, I always said this: if you can trade and pass a funded account, you can trade with those rules in mind.
Yeah.
You could trade that and a live account. A guy that's trading a personal fund amount of money, he's prepared to blow that whole account. He's prepared to risk 100% of that account to make a profit, where when he goes into a funded account, he can't adapt to the rules. So it's almost like work counterclockwise. So I always say being a prop firm trader, which was, again, the thing that changed my life for me, I always say that if you can trade prop firms, it 100% makes you a better trader. Because it definitely, if you are in this for the long game, if you're going to get to that point where you do have a personal funded R1 million account, it's those prop firm rules. They're going to keep you from ever blowing that account.
Yeah, that is true. Jaun, you talked a little bit about your personal accounts hitting rock bottom, and I think it's something we. I don't want to say we, but I think it's this thing in the industry where everybody only wants to show the shiny things. They only want to show the positive. But I've stated many times on the streams as well, I've also hit rock bottom. So let's dive a little bit into that in terms of how it happened, mentally, what toll did it take on you, and then ultimately, what is the plan to get out of that? And how did you mentally then pick yourself up out of that rut? Because obviously you get into a rut and you start questioning your own abilities. So let's maybe dive into that real raw realities of trading.
Yes, no, definitely. So I was working in IT before I started trading Forex full time. I'm only 6 months. I'm a full-time day trader. And as soon as I left my job, I hit the worst 3 months that I had in my trading career, and basically I didn't have a safety net. I thought I could go full time with a 100K account, and I could keep on trading. And I took a few losses, and I think I was sitting on like 20,000 Rand left, and I was like, okay, either I'm going to trade this 20K or I'm going to invest in prop firm capital and then maybe scale that capital back that I lost. But I lost, like I said, I lost that capital, and initially I knew I could trade, but it came down to my discipline. It came down to when I was trading, how I was trading, and I felt that when looking at the rules at prop firms, that can maybe stabilize me as a trader. So yeah, I always had self-belief in myself, and I always knew that if I kept on doing this, I've shown results that I can pull myself over, and just coming through that and sitting here today is a testimony that if you keep on working, even if you're in the dumps and you believe in yourself, and if everyone is against you, then you can do it, you know. And you must be strong-minded, and that's why I love this game as well. It built so much that I was lacking emotionally, spiritually, everything as a person. Forex taught me through that, so like I can push through these times and I can handle it. And just coming out of the other side, it's just a lovely feeling. And yeah, I knew what those mistakes are crucial to my plan now. It's like when I can go back to those losses and reflect, and I can add that back to my trading, and that is actually valuable. Not the money lost, that lessons that I learned through those losses and how I adapted and adjusted my plan to my prop firm account is what actually made the difference to me.
Keeks, it sounds almost very, very similar to your story, where it was going very well, and once you made that shift, and it's like now this blue horizon in front of you, and then you almost hit like that block, like flip.
I think it really tested you as a trader. I've spoke about it before, and as I said, I made the most amount of money I ever had in my life in a very short span of time, where I saved up a lot of money, giving myself that safety net before I went full time. And before I knew it, it was that case of where I was, the safety net I had could have lasted me 3 years. But it's almost every single expense under the sun suddenly hit me in those next 3 months as well.
Literally.
And started burning through those savings quicker than I could ever think. At the same time, I was, we spoke about this with some other guys, I was burning through accounts. I just wasn't in a good headspace. No. I wasn't following my own rules. I wasn't following my plans. I wasn't emotionally, mentally, everything. I wasn't there. And it was actually a crucial thing a friend told me. And he said, bro, never forget the importance of still trading a personal funded account. I'm putting all this pressure on myself, and that's where the pressure was coming from to pass these funded accounts. And he said, just go back to a personal. Put some money in, because keep in mind, if you need to keep the bills being paid, you can at least bring that money in. And I went back to personal, and again, now being able to implement those funded account rules to a personal, I started growing a personal account. And I mean, we were talking about it where I was down at a stage, like I say, being nowhere, to take in $200-$300 account. I got it to 1,500, and then by I think just short of January, that account sitting at like $6,500, and that was just starting to pay the bills whenever I needed money.
Exactly.
Make a one trade, pay the bills, and that was it. And once that, like, if you want to say that pressure was released, I kind of went back to my funded accounts, and it's just
It
challenge,
just,
challenge,
it just translates.
challenge,
Yeah, it
challenge.
just translates. Yeah.
But it's a case of you, and we always say, if you, again, want to be in this industry for a long time, you need to be able to adapt.
Yep.
You need to be able to identify the problem, if there is a problem, and then you need to be able to sit through the storm.
Exactly.
Again, we always say, ships were never meant to sit in the harbor. And again, smooth oceans will never make a trained sailor. So you've got to get through it.
And yeah, like you see, you make that minor adjustments, and once you come out of that other side, you know, it gives you that depth to your psychology that you become like more stable and unbreakable. You know, you have so much more confidence in your ability, and that I feel every trader needs to go through that in their trading career, so that can shape them. And you know, you're not untouchable. You know, you must get humbled through the markets, and you must learn from that.
John, touching back on that dip you went through, was there at any stage, so you said you came from an IT background, was there at any stage where you thought like, flip, maybe I made a mistake, let me put out my CV, let me rather just go back to a stable income? Was that thought ever in your head?
Yeah, so funny enough, I actually phoned my old boss, because I went out on good terms as well. Like my parents taught me, you never burn bridges, you know, you always keep good relations. And I actually phoned him, and he was like, no, but I think you should stick through it, because you actually have a talent. He saw what I was doing and stuff like that. And if it wasn't for those words as well, I wouldn't have bought, because after that phone call, I bought the challenge, you know, and that's where I started. And I'm glad I took that leap of faith, because now I can carry on doing what I'm doing. And I love it, because I would have felt like I'm going back to jail, kind of, you know.
My thing is, I always say to guys, and again, this comes off two ways in this industry, because I always say, with anything in life, if you're going to do it and you want to do it, you've got to give it everything. You've got to give it 110%. You can't half-ass something. Yeah. Whether that's sports, whether that's you in the gym, and whether that's your trading, you can't do it. Even a relationship. If you're 50 in that relationship, it's not going to work. You've got to be in there. Yeah. And it's the same thing. So, again, I'm not saying that now, like if you're some youngster in school, I'm not saying drop out of school and go be a trader. But if you are in that situation, there is that time you got to do it. And I think we spoke about in one of our podcasts where also was the same thing with me. I got to that point, and it was a case of, do I also go back to my job and put my tail between my legs and say I failed? Or do I sit through this? I got myself in this hole, and I've got to figure out how to get myself out.
Exactly.
I also think, and I think we also need to normalize this. If you took the leap of faith, here's my thing, and I want to tell the viewers watching here, you took the leap of faith. Financially, you're struggling. There is no shame, and I want to just publicly put this out. There's no shame in going back to a 9 to 5, and I'm not saying you abandoned the trading dream. Yeah. There's no shame in going back to the 9 to 5, because ultimately, as a man, and majority men in this industry, as a man, it's your responsibility to provide for your family. Yeah. So, firstly, if you can't provide through trading, go back to a 9 to 5. You can still in the evenings do your trading. You can trade on the 4-hour time frame. You don't have to abandon the dream, but please, guys, don't think there's anything wrong with failing. I've started multiple businesses, put in a lot of money, lost money, failed. And my business mentor always told me, like, if you're going to fail quickly and fail forward. Like, if you failed, take it on the chin, don't dwell on it, take your lessons and move forward. Yeah. And I think sometimes as human beings, we get so stuck in that, and it's an ego thing again, where you don't wanna admit, like, listen, I messed up. Maybe I took the jump too soon. Let me just get back to a stable income. Let me just get my mindset right, because then if you've got your stable income, the pressure is not on you as a trader to now make money to pay the bills. Because I promise you, I also made that leap of faith, and it drills you. to know that, dude, I need to be trading to make money,
Exactly.
to pay bills at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And it's that death loop we speak about. And therefore, traders should always, I don't want to say always have a plan B, but never feel ashamed to fall back on the plan B if plan A didn't work, because ultimately you still need to provide.
Definitely. And what made it easier for me to make that leap as well was that I still live with my parents, like my parents are very supportive of what I do and stuff. So I don't have a family yet. I'm still young, and it was an easy transition. If I fail, I'm still 24 years old at the end of the day. It's not a train smash. And like you said, you've learned a few things. With trading, you're always going to have the skill. You must just, when you go back to the job, review what you did wrong and fix on those issues, and you can always go back again. But when you're more honest and open to your what can I say, your results.
And your stuff.
So a quick one, because like we were saying, you're in an IT business and that. Did you go study?
Yes, I went and studied. I got my MCSD in IT. Yes. So
okay, this is interesting now. So for someone that went and studied, that means it was basically what, 2 years?
So
2 years, and then you had to tell your parents you're leaving your job to go trade.
So I had a 1 year cert. I did a 1 year certification in IT, and then I started working on 20 years old. I left when I was on 23. So that was last year.
And how did your parents feel about that?
No, they thought I was throwing my life away. They were obviously very happy about the career choice I made, and that's something I studied. And they said, like, I got a job really quickly as well. And they're like, it doesn't happen in these times, you must be thankful for what you have. Or like, are you dead sure you are what you say you are, I can see these numbers on your screens, but is it real, And I just told them they must trust in my abilities, and I know if I can give this my all, like I've done many adventures in my past, then I will succeed. And like I said, now I'm sitting here today, so I was not wrong.
Did you at any stage like tell yourself, if I don't hit these, let's call it these milestones, then I'll go back to my job? Or was it like this one-way mission, like I'm pursuing this, I'm not looking back? How did you do that transition?
So I was on all or nothing. Like I was prepared. I went in, obviously I was trading for like 2 years while I was working as well before that. So I was really ready for this whole thing, and I felt I can make it work, but I didn't have an issue to go and work again, because I must bring money in at the end of the day. But I knew when I go back that I would eventually work my way up to do it again, like I would never give up on the dream. But the dream was there, and this is what I want to become, and this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to empower people as well.
Then maybe a little bit of a controversial topic, and we've buried the hatches, but obviously and again we've sorted it out, but I think we do need to touch on it. Like I think it was it last year? Yeah. So there were some words from you towards us, and again we talked about it afterwards, and we had a great chat and everything. But what initially led to that, where there was almost like this little bit of a malicious attack? Specifically at that stage, I want to say, like, Keegan, you weren't doing a lot of content, but and I'm asking the question.
I honestly wasn't even aware of it. I just remember you coming to the office the one day telling me that this man came at you. Yeah, I'm like, what? And that was it.
Yeah, so the reason I want to talk about it is because a lot of times. And you would see now, a lot of times you see somebody on social media and you maybe see 3 reels, let's call it 3 reels, and then you immediately paint a picture of who you think that person is. Yeah. And then later on it's like, flip, okay, this guy is actually not what those 3 reels depicted. Like, and again, this is an open conversation. We mates chatting here. Yeah. So what made you almost like come a little bit at me during that phase?
Dude, like I think it was mostly the people that I not surrounded myself with, but I was partnered with RazeFX at the time. That's now markets.com, and there were certain people talking smack. Obviously some of the people that trade for them, some partners, because not everyone is legit, and you guys are here to expose and enlighten people, and some people feel threatened through that. And I think I was intoxicated the night that I messaged you, to be honest, and it was silly. It was just other people's opinions that got to my head, and that's why I took it out.
So it came through basically other people saying,
Chris
and Keegan, these idiots.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no. So it was, and I was intoxicated. I was silly. I was immature. So
and then obviously, then later on, you messaged me and we said, and I still told it. I said, John, I'm the guy. I'm always for second chances. Like, if you're man enough to say, like, bro, we even talked about it now in the previous podcast. Like, I'll be the first one to say, like, dude, I messed up. But then again, like, if somebody else comes and says, Chris, bro, that was wrong, and immediately I said, dude, no stress. I appreciate coming. But then from there as well, you've been out following the streams as well. Has that painted like a different picture of who we really are and from the picture that you initially had of us?
No, definitely. Like watching your streams, it gets lonely as a full-time trader, Not everyone understands what you're doing and stuff like that. And just watching your streams and watching the chat go off, and you feel you're part of a family kind of vibe, and at the same time you guys are talking sense, So I learned a lot through level trade, like your levels and stuff you guys are trading, and just the community that you guys have is awesome. It made me feel something. I love after my sessions to tune in and watch you guys stream and chat. It's nice. The interaction is nice. Yeah.
And would you say that the trading has added? Let's call it the live streams have added value to your trading as well?
100%. Like I said, you guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm not paid to be here, guys, for the haters wondering. But I know it's genuinely my experience, and you guys have helped me a lot, especially with recognizing minor levels on the 5 minute and stuff that you can also use. It's not only a higher time frame. Levels are levels, and if this level gets broken, this is what's going to happen. And through that, if you can never unsee those things, if you understand trading and you see those basic concepts, trading is not that difficult. It's just patience and execution,
Yeah, the one thing, guys, I just want to point out to there is, for the guys that have been watching this Cape Town series, I just hope that everyone's picking up on this thing, that this is something we've been preaching on the live streams and everything.
Levels.
Yes, there's a method to our madness, but it's a simple method.
Yeah.
It's not overcomplicated. There's not 20,000 lines across our screens. There's not some fib and then chock and block and bosses in 1 minute.
Breaker, BB plus.
And BB plus. there's none of that. It's simple, guys.
I think, like we always say on stream, the big thing is, if you think about it, trading is literally horizontal levels.
Yeah.
And you can create all of this liquidity and this and that, but effectively it's some key level.
Yeah.
And you jumping through all these hoops, you painting this pretty picture of bosses and chocks
order blocks and
liquidity, trend line liquidity, where it's literally a horizontal line.
Yeah.
If price breaks through it, it's going to go to the next horizontal line.
Exactly. That's our trade.
And,
that's exactly
and
our
people,
trade.
and it's almost like it has to be complicated. Like I have to jump through 20 loops. And after I've jumped through the 20 hoops, then I can only execute my trade. But it can't be easy. Would you say you've found that level of, and again, I'm not saying you don't lose. Like I've gone through losing streaks, but do you feel like you've reached that level where you are comfortable now in your ability?
100%. Yeah, I have that confidence. And if I take a losing day, I know tomorrow the market's going to move and give me a better break, because fake outs do occur and these things do happen. It's normal market movement. But I know I'm trusting my ability that if I stick to my risk management rules and my constant lot sizes, that I will make it all back.
Other question now, and I've asked this to Keegan as well. Keegan was on a massive streak. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. He passed the phase 1 and phase 2 like in, was it a week and a half?
Week and a half.
So and then I still told Keegan, like, we all know how to deal with a losing streak, but
Yeah.
for instance, you on a winning streak,
Yeah.
because you passed the phase 1, you passed the phase 2, the live account has been going great. How do you now mentally tell yourself, like, dude, I'm not untouchable, like,
Yeah.
I've had a very good run? How do you keep those emotions in check before the ego? Because remember, that
Yeah, the
ego
ego
is
does
always there
happen.
on the
It
edge
does
where you
happen.
feel like, flip, if I buy now, the market's going to go up.
Exactly. No,
So how do you manage that?
so this period of me waiting for my payout it's giving me a lot of time to reflect. So I'm kind of on a mini holiday,
Okay.
so to speak, but I'm reviewing my winning trades and I'm collecting data. Like, I'm taking screenshots of my winning trades, collecting candles, like candle structure, looking at the markets. And I just showed Keegan before the pod that I purchased a 140k account now, and just to stay warm, I'm still trading, still active
Okay,
in the
yeah,
markets.
yeah.
But I passed phase 1 actually. Not my
Okay,
phase 2. I passed
okay,
it before the
okay.
pod. So yeah, I'm just staying active, but I'm just keeping my edge still there. I'm still active every day in the markets, but it's teaching me a lot of patience, because there's
Okay.
sometimes that I'm realizing that I would have executed, but that would have been just the money, like trying to get to my head, you know. So this has been, I had a lot of time to reflect now, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And I think also the thing is, you need to come to the markets every day
Yeah.
with, like, this is day 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't trade, even though they always say, like, you're only as good as your last performance. With trading, you need to come fresh,
Yes.
start the day, and execute as if you didn't take a trade or a loss yesterday or a win yesterday, and just take it from scratch. Jean, coming back, so you've only technically been trading for, is it 3 years?
2 years, and I was in crypto before that.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is my 3rd year, but I'm not counting it. It's not a full year yet. Yeah.
So just also quickly before, I don't know, sorry Chris, before you carry with that, when you say crypto, were you in like
Just investing. Yeah.
Holding.
investing and
Yeah,
holding?
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I was just buying like the normal guy, get your Luna account and buying,
Okay.
not,
Okay,
No,
not
that's-
trading.
okay,
yeah.
that's all.
Yeah.
Now my thing is, technically you're still very early
Yeah.
in your trading, and I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm going to maybe ask you this question in a year's time again.
Okay.
You've got a strategy,
Yeah.
and you're doing well with it.
Yes.
Just and maybe it's not a question, maybe it's just a little bit of advice, like, do not fall into the trap where you see somebody on social media, maybe
Yeah.
you're taking a 1-2 and you're taking your 1-1s,
Yeah.
and now you see the next guy posting this 1-200 R trade, and then you think, oh flip, my strategy is inferior, let me start jumping onto the next, because technically I think that's what creates this longer path.
Yeah.
We jump, you don't even sit through this one trading strategy and then you're already onto the next. So
No.
my question is, how will you stay grounded in what you're doing now and not start looking around on social media?
So I have a thing, like, I don't want to catch the big trades. I want to make money. For me, it's compounding and a numbers game. So if I see I'm 1 to 2% up, I'll close it. And some people is against it because they say those are actually your runners. No. I say no. Close, build momentum, you know, and stick to your 1% a day. If you lose 1%, you're done for the day. I'm really strict on that, and I don't care if it could have been 100k a day. I still made more than an average person working in South Africa. I mean, what I'm making out of my account now, I had to work 2 months for to earn at my job. So, you know, that's where I keep myself grounded, looking at my past circumstances and what's currently going on my screen, and then I'm done for the day, and I go to the next day.
I know.
It's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, I always put it this way, and I said that it's one of the things Ethan also talked about, Ethan Garland, is that we sometimes don't give trading the respect it deserves.
Yeah.
It is a very hard profession.
Yes.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it, me and Keegan as well, is if you're playing a difficult opponent, let's take rugby for instance.
Yeah.
The opponent's got a very strong defense. you've got an easy penalty in front of the poles. You can put points on the table. Are you going to try and go for the corner, or are you going to take the easy 3 points and let that scoreboard tick over? And that's how I also, after, again, that death loop, realized like the market is a difficult opponent.
Yeah.
It's got a very strong defense. If I get the opportunity to take a 3-pointer, a penalty kick, why try and push for the 7 points if I can clip the 3 point?
Exactly.
And that's where things change for me to the point where it's like, all right, I'm going to start clipping these little wins.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you look at the end of the month, it's a beautiful sum.
Exactly.
On the day, maybe you're making a 5K or 8K, and it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, at the end of the month, it's an 80K month.
Exactly. And it's Don, though, the streamer, made me realize that he only catches 10 pips, you know, and I watch his stream, and his chat guy, you're risking like 100 pips to make only 10 pips, you know, but what he says makes, and the way he compounds his account is where I took advice from him. I wasn't looking at what, I was like, okay, baby pips, it makes a sum, like he went to what, $1 million last year.
Yeah, so my thing is, so we always talk about this actually a few times on the stream. We always, whenever big things happen with Donvo, we get asked about it. Because Chris and myself are Donvo fans. We do like him, we do enjoy him.
I love Don.
I was over the moon when you could reach that mile last year. But I think because you touched on that now, at the same time, because you said like the thing is, even though you like, and again, the compounding, like take your 10 pips every day, that's perfect. As you're still every day you're growing. Yeah. But I don't believe, especially as a new trader,
no, you
you can't be
like
trading that negative R.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, a new trader is going to have that low win rate. So he's going to be losing more. And when you've got a negative RR,
that's why I don't take his stop loss advice anymore. I just take his compound advice. Because like I say, because you can be on a 67 win streak and you can take one loss and it wipes like 35.
That wipe is
half of his wins. Yeah, gone.
All of his wins.
He had one loss when he just started the account again.
He stacked it.
Yeah. He basically went down like small, and then the next day he went down again but big, and he decided no, he's going to stack, he's going to re-enter, get better entries, and this thing kept going against him, until basically he blew the whole account in one trade.
Yeah, so the second one, so he first got to a mil, he did the mil, and then after that I think he withdrew. Yeah. And then he built up the account again, and it
was like 250. Now he literally took it to like 280,
and then that's when he blew it. He nuked it, and again, all love to the guy.
Yeah, no,
he's done awesome. Phenomenal. But again, we've talked about it. You can't do prop accounts using that strategy.
No, you can't.
Think about that.
You can't. Not at the stop loss. No.
If you make 0.1 R per trade, how long is it going to take you to actually pass an account?
I mean, think of it that way. Like,
100 trades.
Yeah, because my thing is, think of it even that way. The thing is, and as we were talking about again, even if it's a personal account, it really depends on what your capital is. Yeah. Because if it's a funded account, no matter if it's a small funded account or a big funded account, you've only got 10% drawdown. And again, you can only do 5% of the day. Yeah. So if he's risking 7% for 1%, but you already have to pull out at 5%, you can't even stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it just doesn't work.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, that's where I took a page of your guys' book, was when you immediately see that rejection and it's not fitting the picture that you initially thought of the trade. Kill it. It's like, don't waste your time any longer. Don't put yourself through that pain.
If you can already see the trades being invalidated.
Yeah, exactly. So just get out. Yeah, and that's how I manage my stuff. Yeah.
Like someone asked me this the other day when it was just after FOMC. We had the Human Rights Day, and I was still trading, and I basically just started a new account, and I'm already like 8% up on it. And this guy was like, "Bro, what the hell is your win rate? Like, I just see you winning the whole time." I said, "Bro, technically my win rate's actually quite low. It's just like a 67." But I said, because these bigger trades I take, these aggressive approaches. Yeah. I said, you don't see it, but I've entered that exact trade maybe 3 minutes, like in the last 3 minutes, I've entered the trade 3 times but I'm killing it very quickly. Like
Yeah.
I'm killing that thing. The minute it's not giving me what I want,
Yeah.
I will kill it at like a 0.1. I
Yeah.
kill it and get out because I know it's not giving me what I want. Like I need to enter and then must go.
Yeah.
And so because at the end of the day that closes, it's not hurting me on the account size, and on my balance, but it's hurting me on my win rate.
Yeah.
But then that one win comes and poof, you.
I think
Exactly.
I think that one challenge we did with the stream members, my win rate was 33%,
Yeah.
and I still passed the phase 1. And I told the guys, you don't need a big win rate.
Yeah,
like
that's why
if you keep your losses small and you hit full TPs, like you don't
Exactly.
need a big win rate.
Yeah.
Jean, firstly, we're gonna get to the end here, and again, as always, what is the tip or what advice can you give to new traders? Because, and also not just new traders that are still struggling to get to that point, and even traders doing prop firm challenges like you in a beautiful spot. You one of the few. You're in a small percentage of people that's gone through a phase 1, a phase 2. Beautiful payout waiting for you at the end of this week or next week. What advice do you have for the traders out there?
So if I could give advice, don't go for the big plays. Stay out of news. Don't try and catch over leverage your accounts. Stick to basics. Focus on catching 20 pips a day. Keep it basic. When you buy the account, you have an initial profit target of 10%. Don't try and do that in one day. Break that down. I have five trading days that I must take before I can actually go to phase 2. So then I'm going to take that, divide those days with the percentage that you need to make. Then I must make 2% a day. So you break down that goal. Don't try and shoot for the stars, and also stick to normal risk management. Get used to the markets. Use proper lot sizes. Lot sizes is really underrated. Work out and go with a set lot size, set plan,
beautiful.
and just persevere and go take those small wins, because yes, making it in one trade would be great, but is that luck? Can you repeat that? And what you're doing is, when you break down that goal, you're initially building momentum as well, because not only are you winning consistently, but you're gaining trust into your strategy and your plan as well. Because I had 5 winning days, not 1 winning day. And that's really important. So break down your goals. Don't shoot for the stars immediately. Rome wasn't built overnight, and you would succeed.
Keeks, any closing remarks from you?
Nah,
You're looking tired, my brother.
no, I'm good, brother. I like those ones, but I must just say, I think I'm going to add to it, just as a little one on the cherry on the cake. I could be mistaken, because I think there is someone ahead, but technically he won't be getting the power dead, so he might lose money. But Jean then is, I think, going to be the biggest payout now.
Yeah, I think almost so, yeah.
So Jean will, as long as you don't lose money by next week
No,
Thursday,
I won't.
you will now then be number 1 on the board for now, meaning Angelo has been replaced.
I think
the next boy is up.
we'll just confirm,
We'll confirm that one for you guys.
But Jean, I think Jean is going to take the lead.
I think
unless
that sounds good.
Jean, I really want to thank you for joining us and again sharing your story and again like I said, it's our life has developed. Where last year at one stage there was words and how things have changed to us mending the bridges, and now to you doing absolutely phenomenally on the Vault Funder Challenge, and it's just an awesome story, and again, best of luck to you with your trading.
Thank you.
And again, you're still relatively young, and I almost see, I don't want to say I see myself as a mentor towards you, but maybe somebody that's walked the journey. I just want to say, you're still very early into it. Don't be too hard on yourself. And again, what you're doing is phenomenal. Stick to the plan.
Yeah.
Keep like my mom always would say, keep your knees on the ground and your eyes to the sky. Stay humble. If you stick to your plan and you stick to what you want to do, I think you can reach great heights. And literally all of the best to you. Hopefully we can do a follow-up again
Yeah,
in coming
100%.
months.
You guys will hear
and
from me, definitely.
Awesome. And yeah, thank you for joining us today. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. And don't stress, Chad. It's not like we only have these shirts. We were shooting the entire day. There's no wardrobe change. So
Yeah.
you guys thinking these guys only have one shirt. We've been shooting the entire day. So
all part of the Cape Town trip.
all part of the Cape Town trip.
Day
So,
one.
so when you guys see this, Jaun-Lee Vault Funder Trader, I think is currently in the lead with the biggest payout to date that's going to be paid out in coming weeks and days. And Chad, we will see you guys on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. John, where can guys contact you? What is your Instagram handle?
So my Instagram handle is jail.tradesfx. That is my Instagram page. Please give a follow there, and then talk to me if you need any advice. I will help you guys for free. I'm done with paid services and affiliation. If you guys really need help, I don't mind. You guys can contact me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Leading the way there. Guys, we will have all of Jean's social handles in the description of this video. And at this stage, I think it's coming across the screen. If our beautiful video editor, maybe not that beautiful,
our black magic,
but rugged and manly over there. So as my finger comes by, this is the social media handle. Yeah. There. Look at those edits. Beautiful.
I say.
Chad, we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and we will see you again.
Peace.
Peace.